Hi, this is Natasha Lara Lewis of Esther's Place, and today I'll be walking you through making a cute little bunny from our bunny centerpiece class. So I'll show you all the different fibers that we have and how we're going to use them, and then walk you through the process. You'll also want to have a pair of scissors and some makeup blush on hand too, and a felting block with a couple of needles. So we have in our bundle of fibers over here, and they're marked for you. We have a tail, we have a large piece for the body, a smaller piece for the head. We then have two little smaller pieces for the back legs, one for the front legs, and then two pieces that look like this for the ear with a little bit of pink on there, and then two bundles of yarn for the whiskers, and a little pink nose, and some eyelashes. All of your pieces are marked, so as we need them, just go ahead and pull them off and we'll get started. So we're going to begin with the biggest piece of fiber for the body. And take and unroll that, and we're just going to wrap it around your finger nice and tight. Now as you do that, keep it flat and smooth. I'm going to just push these other pieces out of the way for now. Keep it flat and smooth, and the tighter that you can wrap this, the less poking we have to do later. So just wrap it up nice and tight. And tighten that even more on your finger like that, and then slide it off. Now on the ends, you're just going to take and tuck those extra fibers in a little bit like that. And now we're ready to start poking. So you're going to take and just keep an eye on your fingers. These needles are sharp. We're going to poke the ends first. So just poke in the end here, and then we're going to take and poke the other end, and then we're going to poke all over till it feels nice and solid. So the bunny does have a little bit of like a hump, so as you're poking, just keep that in mind of your shape, and we're just going to poke all over till it feels nice and solid. Now as you're poking, you don't want to poke too deep. You want to poke into about the center of the bunny. And also, if you hold your finger here where the needle gets a little bit smaller, it'll leave you with a smoother surface. So just spend a couple minutes doing that. We want to get all of this kind of anchored together so that if you brush your fingers across, the fibers don't move too much and it's nice and solid. So you're just going to work your way across. When you've got it to the size and shape that you're happy with, then we're going to take and figure out what is the bottom of the bunny. So if this is my bottom, I'm then going to take and flatten it just a little bit so it does sit nicely on the table. So go ahead and spend a couple minutes poking that together nicely, and then check it to make sure it sits on the table. All right, so our next piece is going to be the head, which is the other long piece here. So we're going to take and do the same thing, except we're not doing it around our finger, we're just going to roll. So you're going to roll very tightly and then tuck in the sides. Roll very tightly and then tuck in the sides. So it's like a burrito. Roll and tuck, roll and tuck, roll and tuck. Roll and tuck. Roll and tuck. So we actually raise our own sheep and dye the wool and everything. So it's all locally grown and dyed. There we go. Okay, so it should be kind of proportionate, and it's a little big still, but we have to poke it. But we're going to do the same exact process. Start on the ends here, and then work all over till the whole thing is nice and solid. All right, so go ahead and spend a couple of minutes. Basically, it is just like a miniature version of the body that we just did. Same proportion, size, just a smaller version. So you just want to spend a couple of minutes poking that, and then when we get back, we'll attach the two pieces together. Okay, so now that we've got the two pieces, we're going to take and attach them, and now I haven't done as much poking, so yours is going to be a little bit more solid and smaller, but we're going to take and Make sure that this is not on the front or too far back, but right about here. And then you're going to take and hold it in with a couple of needles and poke the body up into the head. And you can also turn it around and poke the head down into the body. And this is actually what attaches it. So there's no sewing or gluing involved. You're just poking it together. All right, so we're going to just move our way around the whole thing and get it all anchored in there. All right, so after we've done that, we should be able to give the head a little wiggle and it's attached. So let's go ahead and make some ears. So here's an ear that's already done. I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a flat piece of felt next. So our ears, we have that piece with the pink and the purple. And you're going to take and wrap it around 2 fingers here. Nope, you know what? 3 fingers, sorry. 3 fingers. And then slide it off so that this circle is up on the top here. Pin it into your foam with a needle or 2. And as you poke, we're going around the outside edge first. Now, as you do this, that's going to help define your shape by poking around the outside edge. But we also want to keep one end fluffy. We're going to keep this end fluffy when we attach it to the body. So just go ahead and poke it down till it's nice and flat. And then we're going to take and peel it off and turn it just like a quarter turn to the next side. So it's not a full flip. You're just turning it 1/4 turn. And we're poking it down some more. And we're just going to continue doing this and rotating it so that we get all the sides, but we do eventually want to end up with it getting flat. So the more that you poke, the tighter it's going to get, the flatter it's going to become. Let's turn this one more time. Let's flip it over this time. So this is a really great way to get out all your frustrations and aggressions and turn them into something beautiful. So what's happening is there's these tiny notches on the end of the needle that are catching the fibers together and turning it into felt. So the more that you're poking, the tighter it's getting and it's actually catching into felt. You can also come sideways parallel to the foam. Watch your fingers here. But that's a nice way to shape up the edges of your ear. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to add in that little bit of the pink. So let's do 2 fingers on that. Place that in there. And I'm going to go around the top edge of it just a little bit. Yep, there we go. And then I'm going to take and twist it as it gets towards the bottom, because it's going to get it a little tighter for me. All right, so keep on poking and don't use very deep pokes with this. Stay very shallow because otherwise when you flip it over, you're going to get the pink peppering through on the other side. So just little tiny pokes and it will eventually poke down. So just little tiny pokes. And keep on going till the whole thing's nice and flat. Okay. Then you can put it in your hands. You can rub it a little bit. You can even breathe on it and rub it because the moisture in your breath helps the fibers to catch together. So now let's attach. We're going to take the fluff on the bottom and fold it out so it's like going both directions, like a little mushroom cap. Then you're going to take and put it onto the head and put a needle in to hold that. Then go ahead and poke. And you poke a little bit on the front here and a little bit on the back, and it'll be nicely secured onto the head. Okay, so you're going to do both ears that way. There's our second ear. And you go ahead and attach that second ear like that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to walk you through doing the front legs, and that is going to be the little bit larger piece there, and we're going to roll this up nice and tight, and we're actually making a bar. You're going to fold in the edges, and we're going to make a bar that goes across, and we're going to make it look like 2 feet when in reality it's only one piece. So there we go. We're going to pin that into the front, and this is going to go parallel to the bottom of the body. We don't want it to go further down or further up, just right there at the bottom. And as you go around this, edging it, you're going to take and go around the edge and then come down the middle. And this is what gives you the illusion that it's actually 2 pieces. And then continue around the other side here. And you're just going to keep on poking till it's about the right size and shape to look like 2 little feet that are just kind of clumped up underneath it. No, they tuck their feet underneath them when they're resting. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got 2 little feet on the front. We're going to add our back foot. All right, so we've got 2 pieces there for the back feet. They're about that big or so. So we're going to actually, let's pull off a little bit. So hold your hands far apart and pull just a little bit off and set that aside. And now this we're going to take and roll and tuck and roll and tuck and roll and tuck into a little ball. Put that on and then go around the outside edge of that. And again, that's going to the bottom here. So you don't want it to go too far up and you don't want it to go too far down, just right level with where it would sit on the table. Okay, so there we go. We've got that. And then this one we're going to make a smaller ball that's like a little foot. All right. And that's going to go right in front of it to make a little foot. So cute. Okay. So there we go. We have our front feet, we have our back feet. Let's go ahead and put a little tail on there. So we're going to roll a ball nice and tight. Roll and tuck, roll and tuck, roll and tuck. Put that on the back here, pin it in. It's going to be positioned right off the corner of the back. And then go around the edge of that. Okay. And now for the face. How cute is that? It's a really great project for spring. And you can make them in all different colors. I like having the bright colors. Okay, so one of the fun little things we can do with that blush is to give a little bit more variation in color. I sometimes will put a little extra blush on the ear. And then you get a little bit of shading. So that works well just to give you a little more depth of color. Okay, so for the face, we've got 2 eye sockets. You're going to take and just put in a little line for the eye and then just lay in your fake eyelashes. So the fake eyelashes just stick right in there. So we have a little indentation that we've made for the eye, and the eyelash is just going to fit right in there. And then we've got some mohair yarn, and We're going to stick one clump over here and poke it in a little bit. Now mohair is great to felt with because it's very sticky naturally, and it's going to needle felt in there really well. Okay, and then we do the other side as well. And poke that in there like that. Okay, now for the nose, it's just a small ball, very much like the tail. You're going to roll and tuck, and again, get this as tight as you can so that you don't have to do as much poking. Okay, and I am just kind of touching on each step of the process here, but you can pause the video at any point to catch up and to complete the different parts of the process here. All right, once you've got that nose, we take and just go around the edge of the nose like that. All right, and a little bit of a mouth. We're going to just come beneath here and put a line in straight down underneath the nose for the mouth. So we've just got a little line underneath there, a nose, our eye sockets. Of course, I've got to add another ear on there. But so far, it's coming together really cute. So when you're done, you have your finishing touches, and it can become part of a cute Easter display or spring. You can add in some greenery and fun things like that, flowers, silk flowers, and create that into a whole little display. We've got ours on a candlestick that's been decorated with fake flowers and things like that. So really cute. So thanks for joining me. I hope you've had fun creating this little whimsical felted bunny at home, and enjoy. Happy spring and happy felting. This is Natasha Lara Lewis with Esther's Place.